For the beginning, I want to say здравейте, hello, and very warm welcome to all of you, our dear friends and colleagues. I'm so happy to see you all here. I would like to, just for the start, briefly introduce you to our project, Sensory and Immersive Theater Practices in a Digital Context. This project aims to explore possibilities for the existence of sensory and immersive theatrical practices in digital space and to involve the wide and international audience in it. To achieve that, it will focus its efforts on building lasting partnership and try to find ways whether or how sensory and immersive theater can be adapted to a digital environment. Within the project, we will organize 3 online discussions on topics of immersive, intimate, interactive sensory theater in the digital space, exploring opportunities, questions, forms, and possible experiments with Bulgarian and international partners. And 5 interactive performances, each will be focused on one of the 5 senses in the digital world. The result of this project will be presented in a digital book, accessible to all partners and audience. Today, we have gathering for our first discussion, Theater During a Pandemic. So, let me introduce the project partners. From Wales, we have Theater Cynefin, and here with us is Ewan Brioch. Hello, Ewan. Hello, warm welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Nice to see you and have you with us. From Spain, we have Teatro de los Sentidos, Gabriel Hernandez, and we hope Enrique Vargas. Hello, Gabriel. Also from Spain, we have Terre-Moto and Maria Imaski. Hello, Maria. Welcome. From
Hello.
Mexico, we have Sensorama. Hello, Maria. I see you now. From Sensorama, today with us is Eric Bernal. Hello, Eric. Nice to have you with us. Also,
Hi.
we send our greetings to Damian Lerma, who was unable to join us today. We wish you speedy and successful recovery and really hope to see you on our next discussion. For Damian, hello. From Kambana Art, today we have Martin Noev and Katya Kazakova. Hello, friends. Hello. From Playback Theater Story Catchers, also from Bulgaria, we have Martina Veleva. Hello, Martina. Welcome. From Teatăr Cvete from Bulgaria, here with us is Cvete Yaneva. Hello, Cvete. And the team from Inner Theater Company. Hello, guys. I would like to invite you, if you would like to share a few words about yourselves. It will be nice to introduce yourselves. Maria, I see you on my screen, so would you like to start this introduction? Please, why not? Can you unmute yourself? Or Joro, Georgi need to help you? No? Georgi, can you please unmute Maria Imaski? Yes. Hello, Maria. Maria from Terre-Moto.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm well. A bit nervous.
You're a little bit nervous. Me too. So.
Well, I'm Maria. I'm the scenographer of the Terre-Moto company, and I work with the mask also. I made the mask for the company, and the dispositive for the different rooms. We do immersive theater, and we are 4 in the company now. It's Emanuele, the director, me, the scenographer, and Maria and Xavi, they are actors, and we create the spectacle together. And I don't know what else. Everybody knows here what is immersive theater, so I think
yes. We also share with friends and colleagues in our event in Facebook short information of each organization. So I hope they know already that you are specialized in working in immersive theater, and all your projects are in that field. We are very happy to have you here. Later we will talk more. I will invite who will like to continue. Maybe I see Yuan. Yuan, would you like to say something about your company and yourself?
Of course. Hello, everybody. I think I've met most of you. Some of you I can't see. You're not using your screens. It's nice if you switch your camera on so we know you're not a troll.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It feels like a group if you your camera on. If you're closed. If not closed, that's fine too. So my name is Yuan. In 1994, I think, I saw Ariadne's Thread, Enrica's first production in Wales. And like most people who saw it, it blew my mind. So at the time I was working in theatre of the oppressed. So I was working in applied theatre with communities. So the next chance I had, which was in the year 2000, I made a labyrinth. I copied very much what Ariadne's Thread was like, or tried to, but with a community. And at certain times, the labyrinth was just full of children. It was a wonderful experience. And since then, I've been working with communities to create immersive theatre. And it's evolved and changed. And Theatre Cynefin now is more a kind of archive of that work and an academy that trains people in these methods rather than a production company, unfortunately, because in the UK it's very difficult to create immersive theatre of the scale that we would like to. So our performances often are just the end of training events. Yeah, is that enough?
Thank you. Eric, would you like to share now?
Yes, thank you. Well, with Mexico City, we are a sensory theater company. We have, for the last 20 years, designing and implementing sensory experiences and workshops. And as a Sensorama, it's been a really interesting year, of course, and we're trying to adapt our work to virtuality. And we've been very lucky just to have the opportunity to adapt some of our plays and create new ones in our different areas. We've been working for companies, enterprises, pharmaceutical companies, we are also working for schools and universities, and we've been developing a different sensory theater plays in the Zoom application. And well, it's been a great response for people, and we are receiving very pleasant surprises to realize that human sensibility is now more than ever in the surface, right? In the surface of the skin. It's very touching to see in the little boxes of Zoom, people crying, people really connect with themselves through our plays. And as a Sensorama, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, of course, but also it's been a really great learning process, because we are kind of like approaching the same way we approach darkness. At the same time, it's been like a really transformative process to adapt to approach this lack of contact, of this distance. But we're trying to fill these gaps with creativity and with art. So it's been a very good process here in Mexico City. And I'm happy to be here and to learn from every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. We are happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Gabriel, are you here with us? Yes, I see you. So can you introduce yourself a little bit for people who don't know you? You are not hearing me? You don't... So, do you hear me now?
They said to me that I need permission.
But I just hear you very well. Can somebody please unmute Gabriel?
Okay,
yes.
Now, thank you.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Hello, everyone. New faces and faces known. I'm glad to hear and be part of this project. It's been a little bit hectic for me this couple of weeks to communicate with you, Mila, and I'm sorry about it. But we have this COVID at home, and we are just passing it. And if you can see, I'm not in my best shape. I'm just starting to get it. So I'm a bit not in the best, but okay. We can share, fortunately, these kind of links led us to connect, even though we are how we are.
Yeah.
And this is actually how we can start to talk about what we do as a Teatro Los Sentidos, which most of you already know. I think it's worth to say who we are and so on. So we work so much with that. But
yes, we know, but there are friends and colleagues who want to learn, to know more. So, and because of that, I ask you all just to share a few words.
Yes. Okay, so what can I say? We are Teatro Los Sentidos. This company was created in Colombia in 1988 at the National University with Enrique Vargas, who unfortunately he's willing to come, but I don't know what's going on. So I just called a partner to know what happened with him, and they told me that he's at the hospital at this moment. But I don't know what is wrong. He doesn't pick the phone, so I should apologize instead of him, but I don't know what's wrong. Maybe he will pop in later, hopefully. But okay, I just put the message again, but I don't know. So we start to when we had this language in the hands, we did not know what's going on. We start by improvising with senses, but in a very, very primary way. But this primary way was the starting point of the spark that light the whole process that nowadays is known as a sensorial theater language. This theater, it was based on games, basically. We like to play games, and out of the game, how to make the game to become an experience. That's the good question we have all around the way. How can we make from an experience a game? And with these questions, we move towards, and we start to develop so many different ways to explore the sensorial theater. In the first place, we acknowledge, as in the science, the nanoscience says that when you are looking at something, when you just look at the cells, everything changes. Once you are witnessing something and you just look at it, the things change. It forms as we change. Mm-hmm. And how can we just be together the same way like the life is and be together with life is? We have to be participative, participants of life, mm-hmm. to be presential in every act we do. How can we, by being present and be participating, we could maybe, instead of changing the things, we be part of it. And then we can understand the way of what is to be listening to something or to somebody. I mean something, because for us, the relationship between object and subject is not any longer a relation, because we rather talk about the animation, where the objects and things are thoughts, are things, but they are things that they really talk. They have memory and they have a lot of things to tell. So the art of this work we do is in how can we make and create conditions to listen in every sense. And here is the opportunity. When we are working online, we thought that was impossible, because sensorial theater, mm-hmm. it was born by presential, by the mm-hmm. meeting and encounterment with each other. But there are things that are beyond that. And there are other connections which are really, really powerful, as what was the name of the guy from Sensorama? I forgot you. But yes, it's true. We play online as well, and we are doing lots of courses. And even though in the courses, people are crying, and it's unbelievable that you can touch oneself from distance, because there is poetic in everything. And the poetic of the distance is one of the tools that we have to use this nowadays in this moment. You know, guys, that while working with senses, sight is one of the senses that create distance. It's not the sense that will close you up. It's a tyranny of the visual, but actually, if you look at carefully, when you have distance, also you can create poetics and you can get close to people. And so we are in this quest now, like developing the new ways of how to approach into our knowledge and get it, this digital wave working for us. Not that we try to introduce and try to combine. Right? No, just simply this is a technique that is there and it has been there all the time. Now it's just the screen in between. But this is a big challenge we are in the research. And so far, that's what I want to tell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to have you here. It's very, it's great. I hope that Enrique is good and that he will join us, or if he don't join us, that he's okay.
Oh, he's okay.
That he's
okay, definitely.
Yes, it's.
We have said in Spanish that "hierba mala nunca muere." Like the, I don't know how it's in English, but bad herbs do never die.
Nice. We have so many things to share. Some of the, like Eric said, and your organizations already have some experiences and some kind of project in the direction of the digitalization of the work. But we will leave that for the discussion itself. I would like to. I see Martina. So Martina, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself very briefly. Martina from Story Catchers from Bulgaria.
Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you. What I would like to say is I would like to start a little bit far in the past because my first meeting with the Labyrinth Theater was 7 years ago when I met Yuan and I was trained by him. From then my path with the theater started. After that, I met Vargas, and also Emanuele from Terre-Moto, who inspired me and involved me in immersive theater. It's a really special moment for me now, because I have most of my from the people who inspire me. And after this, my path continued with the playback theater, and we made our theater company. A little bit about playback theater. This is improvisational interactive theater. It is based on psychodrama, and we play back the personal stories from the people, from the audience. It's also very interactive and interesting method, which can be used in labyrinth theater, in immersive theater as an element. So all of these theater techniques, they are very similar, because they build the connection with the audience, with the traveler, with the person, one personal connection with each one. So this is a little bit about the whole theater world in which I'm involved. And we are story catchers. Also, Yani, she is also part of our theater company, and she is with us today.
Great, great to have you. Thank you, Martina. I wish to say hello to Costa Karakasyan, to Anihira, to Poliji, to Desislava Petkova. Hello, welcome. I see also Evelina, hello. And for now, I would like to ask maybe Katya or Martin to introduce shortly Kanbana art.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we are a little bit under pressure, maybe because you don't know. Tonight we have our second performance online. What we do is online forum theater. We have passed education by Monsieur Rui Frati 3 years ago. Normally I am freelance actor, so I'm joining some of companies, including which are here between us, also Theater Cvete and Kanbana Art with Katya Kazakova. It was a big adventure to do our premiere. It was 1 week ago, maybe 10 days, with a lot of technical issues and very unexpected details, which I hope tonight we will cover all of them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, we have experience in sensory theater.
Yes.
We have a lot of projects, joined a lot of projects in Sofia with Labyrinth, and we do work a lot of work with social projects. Even now, we work in the schools. We work with minorities, with different, mostly youth projects with young people. So,
thank you. It's great to have you both here. Good luck with the performance tonight. I would like to ask Cvete Janeva. Cvete, could you tell us a few words about yourself and your organization?
Okay. I was also trained by Ivan in sensory theater. Unfortunately, we haven't this luck to work to work on many projects connected to sensory theater. We work mainly with forum theater, but in all our youth projects, we have the time and the way to involve a little bit of this sensory theater. This is a big challenge for the children. They love this theater, and even now, in our last project, some of the youngsters who was trained before that in sensory theater, they make a present for the other participants. They created little, not long, but very charming sensory labyrinth. So all of them, they were very excited. The young who met for the first time this kind of theater. So it is nice for us to know it. And also many of our actors, they're your actors too. They participate in your projects too, in these great shows whom Irena, you create. We share these actors.
Thank you, Sveta. It's very nice to have you here. I would like to introduce you now Gabriela Petrova. She will be a moderator of our discussion today. So, Gabriela, if you hear me.
Of course. Thank you.
So, floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, all of you. I'm so happy that we are all together now. I'm Gabriela Petrova. Next to me is Sasha Hadjieva. We and the other girls and the other boys around, because some of them are here, founded in our theater company. What to say now? I will present a little bit about the company, and I will want briefly to introduce to the structure of our discussion. So, Inner Theater Company was established officially 2.5 years ago, but we have been creating performances on many years before, together and with other people around. And we are making theater performances. We are creating workshops for kids, for youngsters and adults, and also we are using the theater methodologies for corporate trainings. And what I would like to share with you now is that you see Annie, Milena, me and Sasha, we are in the scenography of our last performance, which we have a really maybe funny, maybe sad story. I don't know. It depends on the point of view. But we should have performed it just on March, and just in the eve of our premiere, there was the lockdown in Sofia. So this performance, this labyrinth, is the first labyrinth for me. Maybe some of you have experienced that, I don't know, but this is the first, and for us also, the first labyrinth that nobody would ever see. Because of many issues and many organizational and financial things, we could not rebuild it again. We could not recreate it again, and we could not perform it. And it was kind of an interesting situation for all of us, because even though we have created it, really nobody except the team don't know what we have done and haven't experienced it. And we have quite a difficult and interesting time to let it go, to just understand that things are changing, and are changing sometimes really suddenly. And during that time, we were thinking, okay, what shall we do now? What is going to happen? Can we transform it? Can we adapt it? Can we film it? Can we 360 degrees film it and VR it? Or what could we do in that situation exactly? Or make a game, or I don't know. And that's how we decided to start that project, which we invited you all to participate. And I'm very happy that we are all together, because one of the things we understood in those times are that it's really, it was for us really important to meet you all in one way or another, and it's really important and precious to share time together. And we cannot travel, or we cannot invite you to come here, but it would be great to communicate, to share experience, to know what is going on with you, how are you, what you are dealing with, and what are the next challenges or opportunities or development of your work. And also, in the winter, a few months from now, we will start our own expedition to the online performance, sensory performance. We don't know what is going to be. We decided to start small, to less is more small, and we will focus every of these performances to one of the senses, and it would be kind of a poor theater. We will be without so many technical support or whatever, and we will see what will happen. We will be very happy to share it with you. And for today's discussion, our focus is, of course, what we have been through and where are we going. So it's formally, to say it, separated on two parts, two topics. First of it is what happened, how this pandemic situation influences maybe as people, also as artists. What are the new topics that arises, and what are the challenges for the organizations? And also, what are the opportunities? Gabrielle said something really nice a few minutes ago about the opportunities of the poetics of the distance. Maybe we could talk, we could elaborate on it more, and somebody else could share another point of view. And later on, maybe really natural, we will go on the second part about digitalization of our really interesting and specific form of theaters, because they all are focused on the interaction, on the immersion of the sensory experience with the audience. And it's not simply to stream something. It's kind of more difficult and maybe more challenging, but also more interesting. For me also is a question, maybe there is some kind of a new form of theater which is kind of different from all of that. So what we are going to do now? First, I want to invite the partners of the project if they want to elaborate more. And of course, everyone could ask a question. Please, you could write about it in the chat. Or if you want to make a statement or a commenter, or just to say something on the topics we are discussing, you could just say in the chat to give you the mic, so it could not have many background noise and many microphones on, but feel free to join. We are not so many people, so we could really, I'm sure that we could manage to do it really kindly to each other and with a great respect of our time and everything that everyone wants to share. So I don't know if is there anyone who wants to start on the first topic, which is about what has been that pandemic situation for us, and it is still now for all of us, as people, as artists, as organization. Or I should choose somebody.
You already share out our experience that on the day when the premiere, we had have to have premiere, we go in a lockdown. Also, and from that moment, we didn't do anything live with that concrete performance. But we also start to thinking about online things, as Eric said, and also as Gabrielle shared. their experiences of your organizations are you step forward and you do the things in digital environment. So did you do that before this crisis, or you started when pandemic started?
Well, in Sensorama, we had a previous experience like 9-10 years ago with the previous pandemic, the influenza. Of course, the government of here in Mexico City forced us to close down about a couple of months. So I remember that we had, like a creative retirement back then, just to imagine, the possibilities that what if maybe we didn't return soon to our regular activities. Back then, we didn't have to prolong that long quarantine, but we started to reminiscence, what the previous conversations that we had. So during this year, of course, the first perception we had about these limitations was in a very shocking way, but we had to just to cool down, to take a deep breath, and to start to fall in love ourselves within our own sensory tools, just to kind of like back to the basics. And in the process, we've been trying to adapt some of our previous works, and of course, we're trying to open all our senses to the community needs. So, as an example, we developed a sensory workshop for anxiety management, just as a therapeutical tool, and it's a theoretical workshop from a therapeutic point of view. So people were very glad to participate in that workshop, and so on. We also developed storytelling, a sensory storytelling for children, because we try just to imagine about the people's needs, the emotional needs from people in our community. So from that point of view, we started to create as an artistic and therapeutical methods, just to share with people through Zoom or to other platforms, virtual platforms. And now this quarantine that started as a limitation now is a richful resource, and it's a very kind of like a playground for us, just to, in a very relaxed way, just to experiment and just to know how can go far from our own limitations, and to explore what is beyond of that. And now we're trying to develop like a mix, like a sensory place, like presential place, and also in like a hybrid kind of a way, also with virtual technology. So it's been a really great time, and all thank you for our directors, Demian Lerma and Hector Fernandez, which are the directors and are the masterminds behind Sensorama. So it's been a really interesting process for us.
Thank you, Eric, for sharing this experience.
Thank you.
Actually, we haven't met before, and one of the reasons I really wanted to participate in that discussion was because I am following your organization since few years, and I have been seeing what you're doing with sense to healing and sense to marketing, and I saw that workshop, or I was thinking that it's a performance about anxiety. I didn't know it's a workshop. Maybe I haven't understood quite correct, and I am still very curious, and I would love to participate. in it. And I also saw that you have been doing sensory performances about the heart. And yes, am I correct?
Yes. We are. We've developed 2 sensory plays in online. One is called Corazón. That it's kind of like a mixture word between heart and reason. It's a wordplay in Spanish, Corazón, and the other one is abrazo, hug, no? Like embrace. And it's like a artistic proposal from us, just to invite people not to forget the human essence that we carry on during these years, because of course it's been a really scary year for many of us. And sometimes when we are filled with the fear, we tend to forget the essence, So we, as an artistic company, the human sensibilities is our main direction. So we create everything from that point, that start of point of view, like so it's been a really touchful and really like a reinvention from us to in our own work, in our own sensory tools.
Thank you. I'm really happy that you could do that online in the distance, and I would like to invite Gabriel, if you want to elaborate more on that politics of the distance and your approach. We have been seeing that workshops that you started doing online. Do you plan something like a performance or something else, or how are they going on? What are the feedbacks?
Yes, do you hear me? I'm on.
Yes, we are here. Yeah.
First, thank you again for your words, and I heard you saying we will never ever again do it, and this resonated on me very much. I mean, actually, it's
we really won't do it. If someday we could transform it, maybe, but in the way we had created it, no, it won't be possible, because there are many partners and people involved who are now not possible to participate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to start, but I think this makes me a question, what you just said. And since it's a question, I always have questions, and this is how also we started this opportunity. Let's call it this COVID opportunity. The COVID is something that we all try to avoid, but it actually is a time. It's another time. But we are indeed coming to a new era, new ways, as everyone else, I believe, here in this place, because we are all united by something very, very common. And this is senses, and it's human, and we're talking about soul and people. So what we did, we start with the question as well: how can we just touch people? Can we just touch people on distance? Can we just transform everything we know, everything possible or impossible, just to share? Because that's what we do when we make experiences. We are sharing, and you know it, all of you. And the game is that how can we believe that there is a beyond? That for us, the first experience was to create a corner where we can go inside your houses and be there with you, just telling you stories for accompany you in the evenings or in the mornings when you wake up. And so we create a corner called Cuentos Consentidos, storytellings to be caroled, to be caroled, yes. And so this little corner started as a game, and it's a big game nowadays. It continues since March, when we started, or May something. And what we learned with that, it was that the fact that all the storytellers, when they start to come, it's a big challenge to tell in front of yourself in a camera or through a video, and not to have the reactions of the audience, or how when you say something, you know, you are telling something, and suddenly, and then you want to see the faces of the audience and the reactions of the things that you do, and you can't have this lack of contact. So it was a challenge, of course, but then we start to transform this into an opportunity, but because actually, as we are now, we are talking less, we will be around the table, or I don't know, each one of us, I feel accompanied by you at this very moment. We have the capability and capacity to forget the technology, the screen, and think about these many doors that we have opened in every experience we did. When we touch one person and we enter, we are listening to this person. We speak because we just don't want to be heard. We just want to speak, to be listened, to listen to the other. When you talk, you want to be listened or you want to listen. We talk to listen. No? When you speak, you want to listen. That's the opposite, that you start sitting there to try to listen to somebody. No? And so it's to change the direction of the things makes us also think about the language and how can we provide conditions to feel really touch, not physically, but in another way, energetically as well, because energetically we're connected beyond the technology, and that's the poetic of the senses, and this is the poetic of the distance we're talking about. How can we transport ourselves and use this language to really make people to be one with himself and learn about it? It doesn't matter if you are a doctor or you are an artist or you are whoever, anybody. It's an art of feeling, and you have to create conditions for this. And so our task in the workshops is to create conditions for people to really believe that you can go beyond this room. You can go far, you can be anywhere you want to. The imagination is very powerful. That's why in those times they were calling the 60s, not imagination to the power. And this coming back, we are there. And so I think the success of this beyond technology, because there is always problems, as one fellow was saying, I forget his name, I'm very bad with names at this moment, but he was talking about when they have the premiere, they discover all the technical problems and such and things, but this is part of the process. But if a technical problem happened, it's also an opportunity to realize something. And all these breakdowns, it's for some reason, and you have to just listen and acknowledge it. And when you said not ever again, that's a very ending point, and it's interesting to know that there are end points. We never let a play with a dot end. It's always like, no? We carry on. We open doors for that.
Thank you, Gabriel. It was a pleasure hearing you, telling you the story of your experience. And Ewan, I want to ask you, what do you think about that transformation of the sensory labyrinth theater to the digital? Is it how to say, maybe something will be stolen from the experience, from the moment, or is it an opportunity?
Yes, it's always an opportunity, but it cannot be replaceable. The presential is something you cannot change, you know?
Yeah.
It's impossible, but yes, of course, digitally, there are such a great opportunities, and people really be touched.
Yeah.
We also have witnessed people crying in front of the camera, unbelievably. We create grains of synchronization, you know, where basically we can make a game all together where this will work anyway, because it works among everybody. We work a lot with archetypes, which help us very much to understand situations and moments of people where they are. And so I think digitally or presentially, the tools are there and you just have to learn to use them, and they are there.
Yeah. Thank you. Ewan, I would invite you, if you want to answer the question for you, how it is. Is it possible to transform the sensory language and the sensory labyrinth theater, or will it be something stolen from the moment?
Well, you know me, and that's why you're asking me the question. I know.
Yeah. I want a discussion.
Then I make the question to you the same.
I don't want to say
it
yes.
was great that you answered it also, because maybe you have some kind of different opinions about it.
It's inspiring to hear, Gabrielle, and what you're doing in Mexico as well. It's really amazing. My experience is different. On the first day of the lockdown here in the UK, I was going to start a project with a school. I don't know if you know in your country, Charlotte Church. She's a very famous singer. When she was young, she was like a superstar. And now she has a school. So I turned up at the school, and that's when I learned about the lockdown. But I also had a whole program of projects. This is the year we were supposed to launch the Academy of Context-Oriented Arts, a kind of pop-up academy. And I was going to be traveling the world and meeting new people and creating labyrinths, and it was very exciting. And then suddenly everything stopped. And I'm reminded of this poem, kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. You must feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. And it just felt everything dissolved. And I have to say, it was a wonderful feeling. And I looked up at the sky, and there were no airplanes. And I said to Charlotte, the sky belongs to the birds again. And I don't know if it was the same in your countries, but
everywhere.
Yeah. And it's this feeling that we can't go on. Business as usual is not an option. So for me, this moment's been a calling to the more activist side of my work, to explore what comes next. Because as we're all aware, there's this huge move to the right. It's like the world is at this tipping point. And what does that mean if this thing that is so analog is reduced into the digital? And back in 2005, many of you will know that I was kind of concerned about the effects the work was having on people, coming out of the labyrinth, saying my life is all changed and everything. I'm reborn, and oh my God, all these things that, many of us hear from audiences. And I thought, what's my responsibility here? So I went back to school and I learned about mindfulness, and since then I've been teaching mindfulness. And then at the time of lockdown, there was a huge demand for this. So I've been teaching teachers in schools and other people mindfulness. But I didn't want to let go of the sensory work, so I started doing an open drop-in for people to come and practice meditation. And when your eyes are closed, then you enter the labyrinth of consciousness. So I've been developing a program of meditations that is called Undoing Agency. So the idea that if we can drop into ourselves with our eyes closed, to close the visual as the tyranny of sight, as we do in the labyrinth, and just drop into being here now, and the uncertainty of this time. And so soon I will be kind of opening that up to more people. And it's a bit like the storytelling, I guess, but the story is the unfolding that emerges from just doing nothing and being here. And it's been a beautiful journey to do that. So yeah, we are connecting through this medium. But my activist mind is very anti this idea that we should hide stuck in front of a screen in our houses. So I've been working on a project in development, which I'll talk more about in the next sessions, which is called palimpsest. So the idea is to use augmented reality to chart sensory moments in the landscape and the streets, so that people can go out into the streets and access these digitally augmented, illustrated moments in the location where they happened. And back about 4 years ago, I did this with a group of homeless people in a town where we explored and asked the community about sensory moments, and we recorded them, and then we in those places we put a plaque with a QR code so people could listen to that sensory moment in the place where it happened. So it's kind of an extension of that, really, but using augmented reality, not just the headphones. But I'll talk more about that in another session. So yeah, I'm making some compromise to be digital, but I think there's more resistance needed to this feeling that we have to keep going on. We have to adapt, we have to evolve, we have to carry on when everything needs to change. And I mean everything.
Yes, it's true. And I cannot, I have to relate with what you are talking about the city and the sensory moments, because now we are thinking about the project. We have started a little bit of it about the invisible city we live in. And I think we could really elaborate more on what you are saying in the further discussions. It's really related to the things that you are explaining to us. I want to ask Martina, because
just to say that we are like in the same path, or this is the thing I'm talking about, synchronicity. I guess that's a matter of the work, the invisible cities. We are on that too.
Really? We were thinking to be international, so okay.
We'll be talking about it together. That's what I'm saying. The themes are on the air. We just pick them up. They are there.
Yes. Great to hear it. Super. Martina, I want to ask you, because I know that you are with your company, you are about to start a really difficult project with playback theater, and I know how deep is your work with social groups, but also with the emotions, with the anxiety and fears. And I want to ask you, how do you approach those emotions? And we are talking here about digital, but have you tried doing your work on digital? Is it possible at all? Maybe if you want, you could a little bit explain more about the specific of the playback theater, because I'm not sure if everyone here is kind of familiar with how it is going.
As I said, playback theater is based on psychodrama. It means that it has a relation with therapy, with psychotherapy, a little bit. But on the first place, it's a theater. It's an art. It's a performance. And we try to make a few of our rehearsals in Zoom rooms, which we didn't enjoy this process. But many colleagues around the world, they started to make own playback theater performances in Zoom. So I was talking with some of them, and they shared with me their experience, so I can share this experience, which was that people, that it's more about just talking and sharing something personal. And what was interesting and curious to find out from this experience, people, some people are more open to share more personal things through this distance, because they're in their own rooms, place, home, and and this make them to open even more than to close. So this is something very interesting which my colleagues find out. And also when we are performing in Zoom, we are using a lot the whole space. I mean, the screen, how you look, where is your body in the screen. So I can be very close to the camera and I can go very, very far and you can see the whole body. So there are many options with to play with the visual part. So you can see my eye now, and I can just make some monologue on, just play some music with my eye and talking and doing something, or just staying in silence and doing something physical from distance using my body. So there is actually a lot of space to experiment with this Zoom rooms. And what also I was thinking, because immersive theater usually is happening in different rooms, and Zoom is we are creating one room, and we can create even more rooms where people can enter and just experience, have some immersive experience. This is what is in my head now.
Thank you very much. Maybe you are opening another question for Maria, because your theater is kind of different in a way. I will not get into that, but can you share with us, have you tried, and what was the pandemic situation for your theater and your organization? Have you tried to adapt to the digital, or you decided something else? Maybe you have been through different obstacles, you as a person and the whole organization. Unmute Nia. Yes, Maria. Unmute Nia.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
We are hearing you.
For us also it's a little bit difficult also, because in the pandemic we was stopping, but we start to do some meetings, because we are in different part of Spain, and we meet together in Zoom to start with a show, to plan a show about the distance, called is La Fila, the line, and we start to think about that, and it's for us the option of do something online is a little bit strange, because we think that the theater is like a ritual, maybe, and we lost this thing that stay in another space, stay in your how can I explain? When you go to the theater, you enter in another world. You know, the energy of the theater, the place, is really different than staying in your house with a pajama, or, you know, and we think that we lost this thing, but in another way, with the online things, we win another more public, or another ways, another poetic, like they said before. By this reason, we are here. We want to explore the online theater, how and what is it, what can we do, and that's it.
Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, so Marta, I want to ask you, because you said that after a few minutes you have a performance for Forum Theater. Can you say to us what it will be about, how you are planning to perform it online? It's a Forum Theater play. I don't know if everyone have understand that. It's you could explain more about the method and what's going on with you.
Well, Forum Theater is a kind of social theater, theater for social work. Как да го кажа? Какво да обясня? It's like we are using theater as a tool to debate different social issues. Tonight, our subject is prevention of drugs distribution between young people. As maybe you know, the main tool in Forum Theater is are the interventions of from the audience to the story which we are playing. That was the big question for us: how we can provide that, how we can manage to let the people, the audience, to give their ideas, how to move the story, how to change the story, to prevent the bad ending, if I can say. So, first of all, we did a movie, a small movie, which this is our first step. So tonight we will show the movie, which is telling the story of our performance, of the story which we are dealing with, the story which we are doing debate later. And later, the second part of the performance is the same actors are doing online, a live debate with the audience, and we are trying to change the story. So, how we do that? First of all, we bought high quality camera, of course. It's the problem with the sound, of course, is very big in this all kind of online events. What we do is actually we bought a camera. It's not advertising. We bought a camera which is also with microphone. As you see, it's a kind of camera which the musicians are using. It's very nice for a live performance online. So we don't have troubles with the sound. Second, yes, Nelly, I will answer later. Second, we did, of course, second screen, which is turned to the stage. So, an actors can see, here is the screen, as you see. An actors can see when someone raises a hand and wants to do intervention to our performance. So when we make a dialogue, when we speak with the audience one by one, I mean, an actor speaks directly and straight, face to face, to the person. this is doing a little bit more, how can I say it? Everybody can see that dialogue. It's happened like real dialogue between an actor and the audience. And between the audience.
Thank you. And there is a question here. What is the feedback from the audience? How do they accept the digital shift?
Well, we did an анкета.
Questionnaire.
Yes.
After the performance, you give them a question.
The questionnaire, so everybody was very surprised how it can work. Is our method, and this is Mikhail. He's one of our actors.
Hi, Mikhail.
He talks English better than me.
I'm not pretty sure about that, but yes, what we're talking about.
The question was, what is the feedback from the audience? How do they accept the digital shift?
Yeah, it's good. We'll do this this evening for second time. The first one was better than I expect, and the audience, it's a little bit frustrated from the beginning, but after 15 or 20 minutes, they start to understand what's happening and what is the rules of this new communication between the actors and the audience. And it was very nice, and I'm proud to say 90% of them are happy.
So you will give them tonight also that questionnaire? And
yes, yeah.
Yeah, great. So
yeah.
Okay. So there is one more question, and I want to invite the people who are asking questions. If they want, they could say that just to give them the word, to give them the stand, so they could really ask the person they would want them to answer the question. But I will ask it. For you, one more question. How do you monetize? Do you sell tickets?
So far, no. Now, our streamings are free for now.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, we have agreement with one Bulgarian platform for events to do like hybrid online events. So we will test later, in maybe till end of this year. We will test how it works.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I could ask the same question if some of the others want to answer. I know Eric and Gabriel also have done this kind of online shift. If you want to answer the same questions about the feedbacks from the audience and the monetarization. I see that both of you are starting. Gabriel, can you say first, and then we'll switch to Eric?
Oh, it's okay if he want to go. It's
no,
right.
you were at the same time, and
okay.
It was just who I saw the first. It's okay, go on.
About the monitoring the experiences, you mean? That question?
What is the feedback from the audience?
Okay. Well, it's very, very nice response, because indeed what we do is, as I said before, is sharing. There is not there is no limit for you to not to understand anything, because everything that we do is very simple, and it's nothing too complicated to get them to understand and to appreciate it in the other direction. And as far as I reckon, the response is as important as in presence. We have done it now, like, for example, the end of the postgraduate course we have and the master courses this year. And we were able to, well, when the pandemic is starting, then we have to take the chance to make the classes online. And we start to, there was the questioning when I start to talk at the beginning. But at the end of the process, when we met in September, we had so many tools that the setup of the experience was really fantastic. And there were some actors, students who couldn't came because they were from abroad and they couldn't come. Just only the Spanish and Portuguese people, some Italians also could come. But the people from Colombia, Brazil, England, and some other places, they couldn't. So we did a hybrid thing. So they were having the experiences made online for themselves in their homes, and we had the other ones in the Polvorín, in a theater. And so we made a very beautiful experience where the audiences were experiencing also live performance like this we are now, and get off and go into the presential as well. And the difference was very minimal, actually, because it was also well integrated that you cannot notice. If you do it with the simplicity that it has to be, it cannot become a technical problem. It's an opportunity, as I say. It's one more tool to explore. And in between this, okay, we have problems with monetizing. Actually, for workshops and the studies, it's easier, but we cannot charge what could be like to pay a decent salary for anybody. It's just for the will of doing it, not to stop, because we don't want to stop. So we do it almost for free, the workshops and the events online, like the storytelling tonight and tomorrow conversations with Enrique. These are for free also. So it's not very much rentable at the moment. But we are thinking on how to proceed, and those events that are free will prevail and will continue like that, because we cannot just change and ask people for money. This is something not. We want to share it and keep these places. For us, it's a very nice corner we have for the investigation and for the really fun and the pleasure of understanding that this is not only like stay in front of the computer, because it's another thing. It's another thing. It's another communication.
It's another discussion.
No, yeah. It's another discussion, I know, because it's hours and hours if you spend in the computer, but well spend it if you have to. In our case, we need to use it, and it's many hours, of course, but you at the end of the day, you don't notice it because you're in the move. You are making exercises in here. You are communicating. You are using another word, experiencing another distance, which is okay for the moment. But the good thing we have is that we have still possibilities to do workshops presential. Not now, because now it's in the lockdown again, but with the chance that we had it, we open up again in workshops and performances. And we did it, and it's okay. And I understand that the times are changing, but you have changed also. We all change and we flow. And as you were saying, Ewan, I think the mindfulness is what we practice every day. We need to, in order to continue. And so thank you.
Thank you. Also, you're quite right. For that, we all have been changed, and maybe the change, we will see the results from it later on. And I'm also thinking further what will happen after this all ends. Maybe if it ends, shall we continue with the digital? But I want to invite Eric also to answer the question.
Thank you. Yes. Well, the feedback, it's been a really positive one. But we as a company, we had to remember all of our significant moments as a creative approach. We remembered back in 2008, we had the opportunity to participate in Macau, China, in an arts festival. We were in Macau performing a sensory experience called 4 Elements. And one of the first limitations as a China culture is that people in that country, as a cultural tradition, are not allowed to touch with like greeting, you know, they just greet at having a distance, you know, but all of our sensory experiences are through hand touch, you know. So the people, the security people back in the festival were very shocked. I mean, how can you touch people, you know? And we, coming from Mexico, Latin America, a country that we are very warm and we are hugging each other all the time. We were, you know, kind of like shocked by that limitation. So we asked the security people just to trust about the respect and all the intention, all the care that we are going to, you know, that to provide to the people. So we discovered back then in China that due to the limitations that they had as a culture about touching, thanks because of that limitation, they even embrace the experience in a very deep and profound way, even more than Mexico itself. So we were very surprised, and the thought process that we had back then, it was that yes, maybe now we have, like in a culture, we're creating a culture of not touching as a human beings, but before the human culture, we still are like biological entities, like mammals, you know. As in mammals, we are going to be that vital need of touching. So we are trusting that process, that our body are going to find the way to adapt and to increase the sensitivity, even through digital technology, to reminiscence, that sensory deja vu thing about touching, you know. So it's been a very you know, like really surprising and reaffirmed experience for us, that we are trusting the mammal inside every human being, that are capable to increase that sensitivity, even with that virtual distance, you know. So some feedback, there are people that say, well, I was with my eyes closed and I felt as in someone were holding me, you know. So we are trusting that magic and that biological adaptation and sensitivity of people, that they are appreciating these virtual spaces, as in where that were presential ones, right? And as in the question about monetizing and selling tickets, yes, we started to design sensory plays for free, just to invite people, so we can learn as a learning process for us. And once we had the security, the creative process, and the you know, like well adjusted, we is trying to sell the tickets for a very economic price. So people were really really willing to pay the ticket price. And sometimes the feedback that we received is, what this is very very low cost. You should sell the tickets even more expensive, please, you know. So we had that kind of feedback from people, and it was very you know, like reaffirming experience for us as a company. So we are in that process, and we're still learning, and we are now performing about 6 or 7 sensory plays, different themes in virtual, and also workshops. And of course, we are receiving the support of the culture, the Ministry of Culture here in Mexico, that allow us just to, you know, navigate through these uncertainty times. But that was like kind of like the process for us to here in Mexico in Sensorama.
Beautiful.
Very much for your answers, and I want to ask you something else from the audience. Ilya is asking, being a little more radical in terms of how we should react to the pandemic, I see the therapeutic dimensions of immersivity as a very important thing to start with. I'd like Eric to share more about the theoretical workshop he did, and if he can also send us more texts on the topic.
Yes, of course. Well, the kind of like the therapeutic dimensions. We approach art as a medicine, as a therapeutical thing. It's not sometimes not our main purpose, but it's kind of like when you go to the movie theater just to entertain yourselves, but you end up crying and you end up receiving a very insightful moment from a movie, So sometimes we approach the sensory theater in the same way. We try just to approach sensory art as a therapeutical method, and that's not. And we don't present our work as a therapeutical, we kind of like hide that element, from people, so people can just be more open just to the artistic approach. And we write our scripts. We use sometimes therapeutical sensory elements like essential oils. Sometimes we try just to invite people just to collect sometimes objects or sensory objects from their own spaces. So as an example, in the workshop of anxiety, we ask people just to collect some objects that represent their anxiety and some objects that represent their opportunity to recreate calm and tranquility. We ask people just to kind of like DIY, do it yourself sensorama in a very personal way, so they can have aromas and flavors that they recollect reminiscence of childhood memories and stuff. And we designed audio, and we had the opportunity to experiment this year with the binaural technology, that we are designing 2 sensory experiences with binaural technology, that this kind of like audio that is 360. So you close your eyes, you push the play button in a YouTube video, and suddenly the audio is very immersive experience. So in 10 or 15 minutes, the people like that, they transport to another kind of like dimension, So in all those elements, the therapeutical process is very important to us, because they at the end of the day, people are very thankful for allowing those kind of spaces, so they can get in touch with themselves and just to resignificate very all like several concepts inside the play, So that's kind of like our approach as in Sensorama. Hector, the director, is a criminology, I don't know how to say comunicólogo, is communications. Demian is a theater actor, and I am a psychologist. So within the 3 of us, we had this kind of like creative process within Sensorama.
Thank you very much. After a few minutes, Sasha will share with you a Google form where you could write your contacts, so we could exchange contacts, and all of the people who are in the and the discussion could communicate, and
Sure.
also we will have the discussion recorded and we could send it to you so you could share it wherever you think that it will be important to be watched.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you a lot. And also what you were saying about therapeutic approach and the dimension today before the discussion, I was thinking about the pros and cons of the online sensory or playback or forum theater. And I was also thinking about your project, Martina and Janica, that you will going to work with with cancer patients and also other vulnerable groups. And I was thinking that if you can go with the theater to the people who are not who are distance away, or who because of health or other physical issues could not ever participate in that kind of experience, this is a kind of a bliss and a kind of really a gift because you and us, we are exploring that now because of the situation. And I don't know, we or maybe some of us, I don't know how many of us have been thinking about going digital before all that has happened. And I want to ask Tsvete, are you here, Tsvete? Maybe she's not here. Gabriel, who wants to tell us? Yeah, of course, go on.
It's just because I need to leave because we are going to prepare for the show tonight as well. And so I'm sorry to just leave like this. But we see you in the next appointment. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you very much, Gabriel.
Bye-bye.
To all of you there in Barcelona. Happy to see you soon and come to you.
I also think that this meeting, we should do it around a glass of wine once upon a time.
Yeah.
Yes, we will do it, of course, and we will think about those invisible cities all together.
We shall cheer about this meeting that it was just a lack of time for having it.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and inspiration and good luck tonight.
See you all a bit. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. So I really want to open the discussion. If somebody wants to take the stand and just introduce himself or share his own experience or ask a question to know all of you here, maybe it won't be possible, but whoever wants to join, it would be great. Barbara, I see you here, and I'm kind of cheeky, or I don't know what is the word, to ask you how it is everything for you. And we haven't met in person, but we are also following how you have been doing, and we have been watching the festival and all the sensory discussions, and it was a pleasure that you have done that. Can you please a little bit introduce yourself also?
Okay.
Just with a few words, thank you.
Yeah, I'm Barbara Pia. I hope we know each other because I see many names here which I don't know from the group. I'm leading Sensorium from Slovenia, and I was posting about this symposium in the group. We have a Facebook group, Sensorial Theater Companies and Creators. I was trying to collect all the people from all around the world who are doing the sensorial theater in this group because we are so many and we don't know each other. So this is the better opportunity which you did now than we did with Symposium, because in Festival Symposium it was not possible. We didn't have no interventions from nobody, and I'm so happy that you at least collect some people here together. It's really nice to see how many people are around the world. So yeah, okay, to introduce myself, I started Sensorium with Gabriel, as you know him. But I'm leading it alone since, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. And since I'm the only one actually in Slovenia, I don't have a permanent group because in Slovenia we are really small country. But I try to develop the language and I try to communicate with all of you. I would like that we could share the knowledge and experience that we have, because I'm sure we have a lot of different experiences. I was an actress of Teatro de los Sentidos for 8 years, and still we are cooperating and communicating and sharing knowledge between us. So that's my case. I am in this moment. I'm working on one project. It's Poetics of Empty Space with students from Academy of Theater, and we are just beginning the process via Zoom. We are reading together and sharing thoughts about what we read. I don't know how we will go on then, when we will have to go to the space, or I don't know. I will see how the process will lead me. I am open to see also what will happen to students. And I don't know, I will see. It's really nice to hear you, how inventive you are with all these Zoom proposals for public, and so it's really nice to hear that. And if somebody is not, I have to make one little thing. I'm taking care of this Facebook group, and I ask because there are some people who are just applying for curiosity and so on, which have nothing to do with sensorial theater. So I'm asking people if they could answer the questionnaire. So, or if you can tell me if you are posting if you will post something, if I don't react immediately to publish it, could you please just remind me, because I'm busy sometimes a lot. That's all.
Of course, thank you very much for sharing. We have 10 more minutes. So I really want to invite, if somebody from, doesn't matter who, wants just to present himself or to ask a question or just to say something, it's okay, because we have really a few more precious minutes together, and I want to open the mic. I will wait for a minute before I will ask my next question. Sveti, you came back?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. Happy to see you. So I don't see anyone asking questions, so I will ask. So Sveti, we were saying about we were talking about here about the opportunities of the digital, and we were thinking about the therapeutic point of view for the theater and this dimension of the immersive experience. And I know that your work with Sveti is really with many vulnerable groups, and it's kind of interesting. Can you please tell us more and what is going on with you in that situation, and have you tried something to adapt for digital, or maybe whatever you want to share with us?
In the moment, we have an international project for theatrical work with young people with disabilities, who was stopped by this pandemia. But now we are planning how to continue our work, and we decided to create film lessons, video lessons, and to share with the participants, because many of them, they need to repeat and repeat and repeat the details of this workshop. But honestly, I am not very optimistic with these digital reforms, they're very interesting and cross fingers to be successful. But I came here and I'm very open to study some ideas with you, from you. So I'm very thankful. It was very interesting, all the discussion, and I'm coming out with some new ideas, and I'm very thankful and will follow all the discussions because they're very useful for me. I'm very bad in computer digital work, so you will be very helpful for my work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there some questions? No, for now. So I will invite the colleagues Milena and Tani just to come here. Annie, Annie, where is Annie? Maybe she went to that other performance with Marto. They are working together in the Forum Theater. Okay, super. So we'll be together to just say goodbye and I will briefly introduce what is going on next. We will have 2 more discussions. We will exchange our contacts, and I hope the next discussion will be more about also the different topics. Maybe we will invite some of other digital experts to give us some clue about the digital world. Hey, our technical master went somewhere behind the camera. So happy to see you all tonight.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It was a great pleasure to be together, and I hope soon we'll rejoin again.
All the best.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, and thank you as well from my side. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, we will invite you.
Leave contacts in that form. That is, we invite all of you to leave the contacts in the form that we just share in the chat. So also we can send the information about the next discussion and keep you updated about all the project and other things. So please leave your contacts, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.